Hello, good morning and welcome to today's morning report with me, Richard Perry, market analyst at Handtech Markets. The European trading session is a bit fairly mixed early on, nothing too significant in terms of direction, and basically what we're seeing is, I think, sort of the early part of a consolidation that we're going to see in the run-up in the next 36 hours towards this Fed FOMC meeting. The FTSE's up slightly, DAX is down slightly, and CAC's basically flat. So yeah, what we're seeing, I think, is just a bit of mixed trading in front of this meeting that obviously is going to be the big dominant factor of the markets in the coming days. What we've also seen in the last day or so is the dollar slightly consolidating the move that we've seen. The strong move higher, it's slightly consolidated that. Bit of a decline yesterday, bit of a slight move away from the dollar where the euro bounced and sterling also bounced, but nothing too significant, and it looks like this is just probably going to be another part within the big dollar bull run. Now obviously the big caveat to that is this Fed meeting tomorrow, which could potentially, if the Fed doesn't remove the word patient, then it could be that we get a bit of a move, a knee-jerk reaction against the dollar in light of the strength that we've had in recent days. But still, at the moment, I think it's just fairly much of a consolidation. Seen also in the VIX volatility as well, and what we saw yesterday also was the S&P 500 is quite strongly higher, actually 1.4%, and that came on the back of this weaker dollar that we had yesterday. So what we do have is quite a lot of data actually today in front of this Fed meeting that's out tomorrow, and we have if I can get the right thing up. HICP, Eurozone, final inflation data for the Eurozone. That comes out at 10 o'clock today. This is the final data from last month, and it was 0.6, and the actual expectation is for 0.3, which was the flash data that we got a couple of weeks ago. 0.3% is the expectation there, so it's expected to come in line with that, but that would be obviously a slight improvement on the final reading of last month. And then also at 10 o'clock we have the German ZEW, which obviously has, you can see this sharp improvement actually in the ZEW in the last few months, 4 months in a row of improvement, and the expectation there is for this to continue to improve to 58.2, so it continues to climb back towards these levels that we saw in late 2013. So that is there is a very strong link between German ZEW and also German GDP subsequently as well, so that would suggest improvement in the German economy. Then into the afternoon we've got the housing data. Now housing data in recently has just slightly come off the top really, and it's interesting that we got the housing sentiment data from the NAHB yesterday, which disappointed quite significantly, and today we've got the building permits. Now building permits are actually expected to increase slightly to 1.07 million, up from the 1.5 million that we saw last month. And then you've got the housing starts, which are expected to deteriorate very slightly from 1.07 to 1.05. So it'll be very interesting to see how the market reacts to this data this afternoon, because the data recently out of the States has not been that encouraging. Apart from the payrolls data, the data economically speaking from the US has been a little bit mixed, to say the least. So again, it'll be interesting to see how the market reacts to that, because the data that we got yesterday afternoon with the industrial production disappointing, the housing data disappointing, people started to sort of speculate maybe whether that was enough of an excuse for the Fed not to start down this or continue down its tightening path. But anyway, that is remains to be seen. But still, this afternoon, that is the data that we've got. So that takes me to my chart of the day, which is Euro Sterling. Now this is in an interesting play actually at the moment, I think, Euro Sterling, because you've got this downtrend that's been in place since January. Every time you've got a consolidation, it's just basically unwound back to this downtrend and then sold off again, and that's what we've had in the past few days. We've had this unwinding move back to the downtrend. but it looks like ultimately this could well be another chance to sell. The daily momentum just looks like it's unwinding. Really, there's no real sign of any improvement really on the MACD lines. Stochastics slightly improved, but again just back towards that downtrend and the area where the selling pressure comes in on both the RSI and the stochastic. So it just looks like we've just had another retreat back towards the downtrend, and previous history just tells us that that is another chance to sell. This is on the intraday hourly chart. What I've done here is I've got just zoomed out a little bit, I've got a fib retracement playing out this rally. So that is the retracement from a point within the downtrend. The last time, one of the last times it touched the downtrend. It's interesting that it's consolidating around the 50% retracement level, 71.60 there or thereabouts, and interesting that that is the downtrend that comes in, and that downtrend comes in at 71.70, and it's hit that today. Coming off that downtrend, also that resistance around 71.70 is also the rally highs that we got from Friday last week and just under yesterday's. So again, that is another adding to the the selling pressure. But look at this 50% fib level; it seems to be capping all these gains, and it'll be interesting to see if it again turns around today. In terms of the hourly momentum, we're still actually I'd say sort of neutralish, sort of reflecting the consolidation that we sort of had in the last few days. We had that strong rally on Thursday last week, and it's basically just consolidated around that move. So nothing too significant there, and in the hourly momentum. But certainly, I think that the indicators are suggesting that if the euro correction is going to continue against sterling, then this is an ideal place for it to happen. Anyway, I wish you good luck in your trading today on euro sterling, and I will speak to you again later. Thank you.